It's okay, Clark. We'll get through this.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Oh, I was just talking to my boy Clark. Anyway, Pokemon. The game series I really want to get into every so often. Every couple months, I'm like, hey man, I really should start playing some Pokemon again. Pokemon's great. And I play it for about a good hour, and then I'm like, I'm bored now. And then I put down that Pokemon game, and I'm like, alright, let's forget about that. And then a couple months later, I'm like, hey, I should play some Pokemon. I should get back into that. And it's just a cycle that repeats over and over again. It's a problem. But I'm not here to talk about my short attention span. I'm here to talk about Pokemon's different visual and art styles, from the very first games to the newest games that recently just got announced. A lot of Pokemon fans don't like the newer Pokemon games because of the jump they made from the old 2D Pokemon games to the new 3D thing they got going on. 3D, yay, we love 3D Pokemon. This has been a topic that's been discussed many times already, and just people hate on the newer Pokemon games for just being 3D. But before I give you my opinion on all the 3D bullshit, I want to go back and go over all the different, Pokemon art styles and visual styles and whatever graphics that have been going on since the very start of Pokemon games, and go all the way and work my way up to the very new games that have been announced. That should be fun, right? Keep in mind though, I am not an expert on this shit, on art styles and bullshit. I'm just some random internet wacky man who loves to ramble about random bullshit. So yeah, take this with a grain of salt. If you're coming into this video expecting like a highly detailed breakdown of every visual, art style, graphics of every single Pokemon game so far, this ain't it, Chief. I am just giving you my little fucking brain opinions. I'm like, oh man, this one looks cool, that one looks cool. That's basically what you're getting here, so strap up. Let me give you my opinions, motherfuckers. For fun, let's put them on a tier list. Let's make a tier list of this bullshit. Let's tier list the games. Let's make this interesting. Starting with Gen 1, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. This is where it all began. And looking at it now with all its color and all its glory, I gotta say, this is probably the worst looking generation without a doubt. I mean, it's not horrible, but all these fucking nasty fucking pixels everywhere. Oh my god, you see this shit? I actually did not play this generation at all as a kid. Recently, I bought Pokemon Yellow on the 3DS's eShop, and I played through Pokemon Yellow like that. And it was pretty alright. Having no nostalgia glasses or any nostalgia holding my opinion back or anything, it looks okay. Sure, you can count almost every pixel on every Pokemon in this game, but hey, it's still got that old Game Boy charm. It's nice. It's got its own feel, but it's definitely, it's being held back by its dated graphics for sure. I was able to play through the game without hating it at all. It's just some of these sprites though, they look really, really bad. Just look at the back of the Pokemon in this battle. What even is that? Could you tell me what Pokemon it is if you didn't see the name right next to it? Could you really? I don't think you could. For fun, I'll put Pokemon Red, Yellow, and Blue in the F tier of my tier list. It's a generous F, no hate to the old style, but I just feel as if this was more of a stepping stone for the Pokemon company, It was more of hey, this is what we got so far, but we're gonna improve, and they did. Just watch, here we go, next game. Gen 2, Silver, Gold, and Crystal. I also played this game on the 3DS's Virtual Console. I went with Pokemon Crystal since that's obviously the most updated version of that generation, and they added a special event where you can actually get the Celebi that was locked before, so now you can shiny hunt for a Celebi. And hey, I tried to do that, and then I got really sick of trying to do that. That 1 in, 8,192 chance for a shiny? Oh my god, fuck that. I got bored after fucking 400 soft resets. You think that's a lot? That's not a lot.
Shiny Celebi! Shiny Celebi! No way! That just freaking started again!
This generation is just basically a more crisp Gen 1, and I definitely appreciate it a little bit more. I mean, I dig the 90s aesthetic they got going on here with all the sprites and shit. It looks a lot better from Gen 1, in my opinion. Some of you might not be able to see a big difference, but I definitely much rather play Crystal and Generation 2 compared to Gen 1. So, yeah. It's simple, but it has a lot more color than the original. The sprites are a bit clearer, and the overworld doesn't look horrible. Gen 2 is a bit dated. I'd much rather play HeartGold and SoulSilver, the remakes of these games, but we'll get into that later. So for now, solid E tier for this game. Step in the right direction and a step up from Gen 1. Gen motherfucking 3. Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Damn, boy, this is when we went from okay to style, baby. Look at the colors, look at the detail, look at the sprites, look at the overworld. There's so much going on here. It looks so good. This generation looked great on the Game Boy. The sprites have more personality to them, and the character designs are fun and interesting as well. I feel like this whole generation has a style I really can't put my finger on. I think it's just a very visually satisfying game to look at and play. It's one of those visual styles and graphics that are just timeless. They'll never like really get old or like dated like Gen 1 and 2 kind of are. That being said, Generation 3 also introduced remakes for Pokemon Red and Blue titled Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Where's Water Blue? Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green also have this very timeless visual style to them, just like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald had as well. The sprites, the overworld, everything about it, it just feels really great and, you know, dare I say it, nostalgic. The colors really pop and it's really visually pleasing to play through one of these games. It just has an art style that makes you feel all warm and cozy inside. It's really fun to go back on your like Game Boy, the original Game Boy, and just play on it. It feels really good. Pokemon was at its best when it was in 2D, and I'm sad that they went to 3D, but it's not all that bad. It's just my opinion. We'll get to it soon. Don't worry about it. I'll shit talk 3D in a little bit. I'll give you my fucking simple brain thoughts. For now, I'm gonna place Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald at a solid B tier. I'm also gonna place Fire Red and Leaf Green at B tier as well, but it's gonna be slightly higher than Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, just because Fire Red and Leaf Green, they increased the visual style. Like, you know, they spruce a few things up, things look a little more clean, and that's why I'm just gonna put it a little further ahead of, you know, Emerald. So I think we can all agree on that, right? We can agree. Gen 4, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Sinnoh gang, rise up. Sinnoh is a motherfucking banger region, bro. For some reason, it feels more like an outcasted game or generation compared to SoulSilver and Black and White, which get praised a lot more. While I'd love to defend my home region and say why it's so good and explain and defend it with my dearest life, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about how it looks. And how does it look? So good. Really high quality sprites from both Pokemon and trainers. I love how Platinum added a bunch of snow around the beginning area and kind of just throughout the game. It was a really nice touch that like helped with the snowy Sinnoh effect, you know? But yeah, man, we got a nice style going on here. The overworld is sick. I mean, it's so clean and colorful. And have you not noticed the fucking distortion world? Bro, that doesn't deserve to look as good as it does. Holy shit. We're never gonna get anything as cool as that. Like, that was so cool. I hope the remakes do it justice. A tier for absolutely sure. SoulSilver and HeartGold are the remakes for Gold and Silver, and you know, they look really good. There really isn't much to add onto these remakes from like what I already said with Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, other than Pokemon SoulSilver and HeartGold. They really upped, like, you know, the visual styles, made it a bit more clean, and made Pokemon feel a lot more Pokemon. I love the little emotes that you get when you talk to your little following Pokemon that's following you around. It's just a cute little touch. I thought it was nice. I liked it. I like the little emotes. They're cute. That's why I'm putting SoulSilver and HeartGold into A tier with Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum just right behind them. Gen 5, Black and White 1 and 2. Gen 5 made a huge change to Pokemon battles with animated sprites that, you know, move around compared to just the static sprites that you got in the older games. When I was younger, I didn't like this shit. I thought it looked weird and garbage. It kind of looks a little strange, but you get used to it and it's nice. I had a change of heart. I think it looks great, and I wished I would have stuck with this throughout the rest of their games. The 2D moving sprites. It looks so good. Pokemon and their little animations they do are so cool, and some of them look just fucking so epic, and like they look so fun. Yeah, I'll say it, they looked epic, okay? They looked epic, but you know, some of them just looked fucking weird. I mean, look at Deoxys. His like little fucking floppers are just like, they look like they're like in segments. They're like they're different segments. I don't know if you can see what I mean. I'm flapping my arms around, he's flapping his arms around, but you see what I mean? They should be all like wiggly, not like jointed. Do you get what I mean? But I digress. Unova's region is so atmospheric, it feels huge, the buildings look great, and it just looks awesome. Everything looks so sharp despite it being in a 2D pixel art style. But the overworld has this like 3D effect, so everything looks like a little mini diorama. It's so cool. And bonus points for having such a fucking slick UI. Dear God, that's slick. S tier, no doubt. Gen 6, X and Y, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And here's where things went from great to... Yeah, what the fuck. X and Y was the first games to go from 2D to 3D, and it was not a great start. At times you might think you like it, but it really does not have the same charm the older 2D games had. It just kind of doesn't work as well. These games were released on the 3DS, and the 3DS was not a powerful console, so you had all these amazing looking 3D models, but you know, they couldn't be displayed in their glory like they can be on like the Nintendo Switch now. They had to be downscaled, and they look fucking horrid on the 3DS. So we're at a weird state of imbalance with 3D graphics and 3D overworlds and models, and it needs to be downscaled to maintain performance on the 3DS so it could actually run. Try running like the 3D effect, like the 3D feature the 3DS has while in a battle in like the 3D Pokemon games on 3DS. It looks and plays horribly. It's so choppy that your frame rate gets chopped in literal half. It's garbage. It's unplayable. Hot take, I'm not a fan of this at all. And you know, they really should have stuck to the 2D art style. Black and White pretty much perfected it, and I wish they would have went through all the rest of their games with black and white style. It feels so Pokemon. Even SoulSilver or HeartGold, go back to that. It just looks good. It doesn't help that the 3D models are extremely washed out. Look at Starmie in 2D with its darker purple. And now look at its 3D model. This man looks like he's dying. Please get this man some help. Charizard got it the worst. I mean, look at this man's like fucking dark Chad orange energy. Look at how dark orange that is. That looks good. And then bop, pussy ass, light, washed out orange. Why did you do this to my boy? Why? Why do you gotta fuck it up? I'm just gonna throw X and Y in a C tier. It's the most fitting, I think, for it. I mean, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they're pretty much in the same boat as X and Y. I do gotta say though, you know, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I think they have a lot more color to them. They're brighter. I don't know, maybe my memory is just serving me wrong, but I feel like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they like really popped. I really hate saying the Pokemon titles out loud. It's really obnoxious. I could say ORAS as like the abbreviation for it, but then some people would have no fucking idea what I'm talking about if I say ORAS compared to Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Pokemon, can you make a little bit simpler names? Yeah, ORAS's colors just look a lot better to me here than X and Y. It might give you like a small hint of like that cozy feeling you get while playing the older Pokemon games, but not nearly as good. I'm also gonna put Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire at a C tier, but a slightly higher than X and Y. Then we have Gen 7 with Sun, Moon, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are basically just upgraded versions of Sun and Moon, and they all have the same art style, so we're just gonna roll with this being Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon only, because they have the exact same art style, so it all works as one. And what do I think about them? Well, it's gonna sound underwhelming, but I feel exactly the same way I feel about the other games, just X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I feel like they all just fit in this one category. You see how 3D kind of just like fucked everything up and made it kind of just samey? It doesn't feel as like nice. I was gonna say how I like how the Alola region has like a tropical vibe to it, but I don't know if that really counts as like an art style. I think it's more of a style than an art style. Hey, I didn't claim to be an expert on this shit, bro. Okay, I'm a fucking man in his fucking room rambling about Pokemon games, bro. Okay, do I look like a fucking expert here? I think I'm gonna play Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon right in between Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and right in between, you know, X and Y. Just why not? I think they're all really close. You know, it's pretty much a tie, but if I had to choose, it'd be this order for C tier. Now, let's talk about something great. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Dear God, this shit is a banger. This shit looks so clean. They made it look so good on the Switch. The chibi style actually works despite it being in 3D. They pulled it off. It looks great. Do this more. Everything looks cute and fresh and like nice, and you know, the in-game battles and the overworld, it all just works. It all is like an art style that I think a lot of people can agree, even though some of them didn't like it. That is a good art style, and it will be timeless in visuals because of its like cartoony style. It works. Compared to Sword and Shield, this shit's gonna date way better than that. But just for a second, let me do this. Do you see Viridian Forest? See that shit? That shit looks so cool. Look at the like shading, shadow. I mean, FPS does drop a little bit in this, like, you know, when you're running through here a little bit, but you know, it looks so good. It looks so good. Do this more. I know some people might be thrown off about my opinion on these games because of my hate, well, not hate, but dislike for the other 3D games that there were. But I mean, they made this art style really work. You know, it looks great. I could come from it. It's a solid A tier for me. Generation 8, Sword and Shield. Dear God, why? Why did they try to make everything look so realistic and fail miserably? Obligatory bad graphics tree. Obligatory grass does not look good. On a real note, this game has zero charm. It tried to go for a more realistic look and just failed. It just doesn't work. At the cartoon like vibe while also trying to be realistic with buildings and all that shit, just it doesn't really work well with me. The 3D models are the same from the 3DS games, just ever so slightly tweaked. They still have the washed out colors, and I don't know how they haven't fixed it yet. The fixed version of these sprites that people have fixed themselves, the fans, look so much better and really more faithful to the original games. I don't know why they haven't fixed this like washed out issue. It looks so bad when you see the fixed versions. I just want to go back to the classic 2D pixel art Nintendo DS style graphics. It was so nice. Listen, these games already get enough shit as it is, and I'm not here to add on to that shit. I'm just telling you that this is going into a D tier. Fuck this shit. Make a Pokemon game that looks like a Pokemon game. Oh fuck, go back. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. Remakes, or they should be more called remasters, of the original Diamond and Pearl. I'm seeing so many mixed opinions on this one online. Ooh boy, Jesus. But what's my opinion on them? They're fine. I don't mind it. It's cute, it's different. It kind of looks like a mobile game, but it kind of looks kind of cool and different. They took Diamond and Pearl and they faithfully recreated it with a new, enhanced chibi style. And based off the trailer, I think it looks all right. I do wish they put black lines or some sort of outline around the models, as I think this looks a lot better. Some people online have put together what that would look like, and yeah, it looks a million times better. Please do this. If we're lucky, we might be able to, like, you know, send a message out there and be like, hey, it looks better with these outlines. And they might update it before the game launches, but I doubt that. It's a Pokemon game. We don't get whatever we want with these games. People be bitching that this looked like a mobile game, but hey, at least it doesn't look like Sword and Shield. I'd take this a million times over Sword and Shield. This is going in A tier, right behind Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee. I mean, I really like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl's art style. It's kind of cool, kind of neat, but I feel like Let's Go did like the cute chibi style a lot better. You know, I would much rather take that style compared to this. I think that would have sat well with a lot more fans compared to what we have now. But hey, I still don't mind this. It's something different. Speaking about trying different things, interesting. Pokemon Legends Arceus got announced as well, and based off the trailer, it looks like a 15 FPS Breath of the Wild Pokemon edition. But hey, if you've seen the trailer, it looks pretty hype despite it all. A 3D open world Pokemon game, if that shit's actually good, oh my god, I'd be so hyped. Oh my fucking lord, I'd come everywhere. Anyway, how does it look and what do I think about it? Well, based on the trailer, it's kind of hard to decide. I think it looks good, the lighting and everything looks great, besides the FPS dips, of course. If we ignore that and base it on the visuals, it looks fine. It looks slightly better than Sword and Shield, and even though it's going for a realistic style, I feel like this is doing it way better with better environments, an open world, and the lighting and the shading just looks a lot better than Sword and Shield. It still kind of looks like a PS3 game, but it's Nintendo, what do we expect? This whole video is just me going, yup, this is fine, yup, I like this one, yup, these graphics are good, yup, I like this one. You know what? Legends Arceus, B tier, fuck it, why not? And yeah, that does it for the mainline Pokemon games. Here's the tier list if you want to take one good look at it before I go. I think I'm pretty confident in my, placements, if I do say so myself. But let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me what you think is best. Tell me what you think is worst. Or even just write me a little angry, mean comment about how I think the Let's Go games are better visually than Fire Red and Leaf Green. Hey, the Let's Go games are fucking good. And you know what? Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, they look really fucking good. Fuck it, yeah, they do. And you know what? Extra fuck it. Sword and Shield, triple S tier. Fight me, fucker.